So guys, welcome to another episode of MySQL. So today we'll be looking into learning how to do join in MySQL. So in MySQL, the join clause is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them. So we already said that in relational database, that tables interact with each other based on relationship between them. So because these tables have relationship, that's why it is possible to be able to retrieve data from multiple tables simultaneously based on this relationship. The most common types of joins are the inner join, we can see the left join, the right join, and the full join, or we can say the full outer join. So we'll be looking at one of them. We'll be looking at one of them. So we'll look at the inner join first, then we'll look at the rest of the join, one after the other. So the inner join returns only the row that have matching values in both tables. So what this means is that when you merge tables together, whether two or more tables, the inner join will return the rows that are the same for both tables, or the similarity between the both tables. So what do I mean? Let's look at an example. Let's look at the customers table. So this is the customers table from my SQL store database. This is the customer table. So the customer table contains the customer ID, the first name, the last name, the birth date, the phone address, city, state, and point. Let's also look at the orders table. The orders table contains the orders, the order that these customers have made. So we can see also the customer ID here in the orders table. So the customer ID here in the orders table is what we call a foreign key. So because we have a customer ID here, and we also have customer ID in the customers table, we can be able to join these two tables together to be able to get information from them. So we are going to do the joins one after the other. So let's start with the inner join. Want to do inner join, joining the customer table with the orders table. So let's look at the syntax. Join orders on customer dot customer ID equal to orders dot customer ID. So guys, this is the simple syntax of joining two tables together. So we can see the select or from customers table join the second table, which is the orders table on. So this on is you are going to indicate the two columns where we have the relationship between the two tables. So the two columns are the customer ID in the customers table and also the customer ID in the orders table. So this is the simplest syntax we can write when joining two tables together. And I wrote join here because in MySQL, when you write join, it's by default what you mean is inner join. So I can decide to write inner join, or I can decide to put join. They mean the same thing. So the only difference is when we are indicating, when we start talking about the left and the right join, that's when you now indicate whether it is left or right. But then when you write inner join here, it is the same as putting join like this. So when we join this, when we run this syntax, we are going to see the results. So we can see that these two tables, the customer tables and the orders tables, has been joined together based on the relationship. So we can see that customer ID, we have the same customer ID here will also appear in the orders. This is where the customer ID ended points. So the orders ID started from the order ID here towards the right. So we can see that the customer ID number six. So this table typically brings us, gives us all the customer that has made orders. All the customer that has made orders. So the relationship between these two tables, that's the inner join, means whatever that it is in this customer table will also be the same thing. The similarities between these two tables shows that all the customers that have made orders. So, and also you should also understand that in writing SQL query, that you can always modify your query depending on what you are looking for, depending on the results you are looking for. You can always modify your query. What do I mean? This is the simplest syntax you can run. I can decide to give alias to my customer table and call it C, and also call my orders table O. So when I do that, I can also come here to change this to C and change the orders to O. So it still means the same thing. It's giving alias. This helps when you are writing a long code. You can always give alias to the name of your table, so your code can be as short as possible and still run. So you can see I've given alias, so wherever I have C. So this helps also when you want to indicate the columns you want to see in your join tables, because we have custom ID here and we'll also have customer ID here. So if you want to indicate whichever customer ID you want to see, you have to indicate by writing the table that the column is coming from. So I want to see customer ID C from customers table. So I'll put C customer underscore ID. I want to see the first name. I want to see the order date. Order date is in orders table. So I'll write O dot orders date. So these are the three columns I want to see. So first name is in customer. So C dot first name. So this C represents the customer, the O represents the order. So when we run this, we are going to see the customer ID, the first name, and the order date. So depending on what information you are looking for in these two tables, you can decide to modify this syntax, the way you want, and then get your result. So the basic syntax is select, you name the column, or you select all column from the customer ID, join orders. That's the second table. If you are joining more than two tables, you can always write join on this and then increase the syntax by writing join on another table. and then you give the similarities between the columns that you are joining. So guys, this is how to do not self join. This is how to do inner join in MySQL. Thank you, and see you guys in the next episode.